We're speaking with David and Joey, the Landreth brothers, of the brothers Landreth. At SOCAN, we're always very interested in songwriting. I understand that the band was kind of born from you guys songwriting together. Can you tell me a little bit about that story?
Yeah, it started initially as just an event that my brother and I could use basically as an excuse to hang out. And it was just going to be something that we were going to do in between going on the road with other folks, which we were making our living at prior to. And I think it was the first song that we finished together. We kind of, once we finished it and sort of wrapped it up, it was like, I think we got some chemistry. Maybe we should hire a band. So it was, yeah, and then we were just sort of off to the races pretty much from then on.
I understand you can be a bit of a slow songwriter, Joey, and that, you know, like, for example, Our Love was started in 2006, finished in 2011. Does working with David sort of speed things up a little bit or change it?
Yeah, he definitely pushes me. 'Cause my natural sort of my go-to thing is like, okay, let's give it some time to breathe. Like, you know, let's let it breathe. And Dave's like, no, we're not leaving until this thing is done. And yeah, it's definitely been an improvement for sure on the process. And he picks up where I leave off. You know, like I usually when there's a song that I've brought to the table, I've started it, I've taken it as far as I can go, which is usually to the first chorus. I go, what do you think, Dave? Here's a bit of a story, here are some lines, and then he sort of reignites the ember. This is pretty much how all the co-writing that we've done has gone. Either he brings an idea to the table and we run with it, or I do. So that's kind of our process.
Does it split any time along lyric music lines, or is it kind of both for both?
Dave is definitely more lyrics first.
Yeah, that's where I sort of jump in. Joey brings a lot of the musical ideas. Yeah. Honestly, what happens, Joey comes with a song that's 95% done, I take out a couple of commas and then slap my name on it.
So you're Ben Affleck to his Matt Damon.
Don't get me on the good, I just watched Good Will Hunting before we left on this tour. Found it very inspiring. Those guys, I don't know where they channeled all that life experience.
So you guys are writing from experience, and the songwriting, it sounds like, from the subject matter of the songs on the album, is that kind of a messy love life going on, at least for one or both.
Guilty. Yeah, the funny line is always, you know, Dave's fiance is always bugging him for a song, and his line is, well, if you get a song, it's because something bad happened.
You don't want a song.
You don't want a song.
You don't want a song. We don't do those kind of songs.
Yeah. No happy romance songs, only the tough ones.
I mean, well, we're working on it. I think that's kind of where a lot of songwriters start, though. Like, I mean, we're very new to the songwriting game in the sense that, like, we do not have a big catalog of music. You know, I really finished my first song from start to finish in 2011 when I finished Our Love. And so I think that's where a lot of songwriters start, is from that, like, well, this is the only thing I know, or my own experiences, and then branch out into bigger story stuff. So we're experiencing that now. I mean, I've since mended my broken heart and found some love, so now I have to draw on some other inspiration because I'm just too dang happy.
One of the guys at SOCAN, Michael McCarty, has this theory that, you know, you consciously put yourself in bad situations, romantically and otherwise, in order to have grist for the mill to be able to write songs.
Or you go looking for it everywhere you go. You've got an eye half cocked, right, and an ear tipped. It's like, oh, is there a story there? Is there something that I'm going to find some inspiration in? It's almost like it's like the ambulance chaser, you know? Kind of, like, I mean, obviously a little less dramatic, but...
You were actually like a guitar player for hire, right? Like,
correct.
Before you were doing this? Mm-hmm. So who have you played with in terms of guitar?
I've played with... I spend a lot of time playing a lot of country music. I played with Doc Walker and Emerson Drive, Dallas Smith, Derek Rattan, wow, One More Girl, and I also spent some time in the Franco-Manitoban scene, or Franco scene, with a guy named Daniel Roy, who's a great songwriter and great drummer in his own right, actually. Spent a tiny bit of time with the Weird Sisters in the early 2000s. And
so a lot of people to play with, yeah. I'm curious as to you're playing the lead slide, right? So who's your influences? I hear myself, I sort of hear Lowell George, Little Ry Cooder, that kind of thing, but who would you count as influences in terms of the slide play?
Those are my number ones. It's Lowell George, probably tied with Rye, and then Derek Trucks, of course, is a big, and the Allman Brothers, certainly, and Sonny Landreth as well. Who
are you guys related? I'm curious.
kind of, sort of. There's
Okay.
the Landreth family is a small one, but we've never met him. I mean, he's in the family tree somewhere way down there. But our dad, he played on our dad's record in the early '90s.
Oh yeah. Eh?
So there's a bit of a connection there.
Yeah,
And
he's a really nice player too. Like,
Oh,
his stuff with John Hyatt is just wonderful.
absolutely.
And his solo stuff's good too.
Super good. And he was the first, my first sort of active, I'm going to listen to this guy because he's a slide player. My dad had a lot of his records. Our dad had a lot of his records kicking around the house. But sort of passive listening, there's a lot of Little Feat. That's both our parents' favorite band. So when we were growing up, we were listening to a lot of Little Feat.
Yeah.
Whether we knew it or not, we were getting a little.
The thing about Little Feat, that's a little different from you guys, and that's why I wouldn't say, oh, it's like a slavish imitation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they have that kind of 1-3 feel, right? Like they have that more New Orleans parade route.
I have a deep love and appreciation for that music, but it's never been a big part of our upbringing. I played in a Cajun band when I was 18 for a couple of years, but and again, deep love and appreciation for that music, but it's never been in the blood.
I think it tends to come out a little more in the live show. I mean, the songs that came out on the record tend to follow a different route, but especially now we've got a slightly different lineup in the band. So we get out on stage, I think some of those other influences kind of sneak out. Like we do a gospel tune that's a little bouncier,
Right.
and we get into it a little more on stage. And I feel like that's where those influences manifest themselves.
Right.
Even if they're not on the record, maybe they'll be on the next one.
Could be.
Maybe we'll get a little swampy.
Do you have any? Are you been doing any work toward the next one? Are you writing songs or thinking about recording, or are you just busy touring the crap out of this one?
We're mostly busy touring as much as we can. We've done a little bit of writing, and we're looking forward to doing some more coming up soon. We got some time slated in June, but until then, we're on the road pretty heavy.
Right. You guys must be really pleased. I mean, it's your first album, and here you are nominated for a JUNO. That's got to feel pretty good.
We're
surreal.
over the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to. I mean, this band wasn't even supposed to really be a band. It was just an opportunity to hang out and make some music together because we had spent so much time apart that it was really just an excuse for us to hang.
Right.
And now it's this thing, and I mean we've never had great expectations on it, so every step of the way we've been totally pleased. I mean, super satisfied. And
Yeah. Pinch me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't.
The thing is, now you guys are going to be hanging for a while, so it's really kind of brought you together. Right?
Yeah.
Mission
Yeah.
accomplished.
Now you can't get rid of me.
It's like fleas.
I was gonna say when I brought up the idea, he was excited. There was once a time when he was excited about the band.
Oh, we get along good. It's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably because we've had the same rapport since, for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Effectively, we're brothers. We act like brothers. I think for everybody else in the band, that's probably a little more awkward because we spat like brothers.
Right.
And it's like
I have one, so I know.
Yeah, anybody who's got a sibling gets it.
Yeah.
So are you gonna sing the notes like that every night, or? Yeah.
No,
We're pretty to the point. Yeah.
If we have younger SOCAN members who even maybe brothers or sisters or whatever, siblings, would you have any advice on working together and how to sort of avoid those spatty pitfalls?
Check your ego. I mean, that's easy to say, really hard to do. But the moment you are able to, and I mean, it's not the same as being dispassionate about what you're doing, but, acknowledge the fact that if you're going to be working together, that you want to take advantage of everybody's strengths, and in order to do that, you kind of have to let yourself get out of the way. Also not the same as, not fighting for a good lyric or a good idea, but you really want to embrace the spirit of collaboration, and in order to do that, you got to cooperate. And it's not all about you; it's about the song.
Yeah.
Get a good song.
So, I guess you're touring for the next little while, maybe doing some writing in June. What's next after that? Do you have any plans on the horizon?
Profit.
Yeah.
No, I'm
right.
kidding.
In the music business, you must be crazy.
Just more music. We really just really want to make more music and get out there and play more music for more people if we can. And if not more people, we'll just keep playing more music for the same people.
We got about 35 dates coming up that we just announced. We're doing a huge tour in the States we're really excited about. That's going to take us through the Midwest and the Southeast and the East Coast.
Are you opening or headline?
It's all our shows. I mean, there's kind of a mishmash. There's a couple of co-bills, and there might even be some support spots in there. But as far as I know, they're mostly our shows. And we're going out to Denmark in September, which is really exciting. We got great festivals all summer, so we're gonna be, we're gonna be working. We're gonna be working a lot. We'll be out there playing. So if you're listening, come find us.
Oh yeah. And now you've won a Juno for the debut album. Can you talk a little bit about how amazing that is?
10 more minutes of that.
Yeah. Oh, we're thrilled. This is such a tremendous honor. We really, really thought we weren't going to win, so we didn't prepare a thank you list, and we definitely should have. What a thrill to be acknowledged this way. We were sidemen long before we were doing this, and sort of to be acknowledged for doing something on our own is very encouraging, and we're just going to keep doing it.